What a 2 weeks it has been. Maybe even a little bit more. Things have been super crazy on my front. A lot of personal stuff going on, which makes it hard to run a business and build a brand. We had some stuff going on with my sister, and so I had to drop a lot to be there for my family. And then just this past weekend, we were driving down to Virginia to see my other sister, and we drove down on Friday, and then we had to turn around and come back on a Saturday morning because my grandma's in the hospital right now, and everything is going better. She's really improving, and we think we're out of the woods. So as of right now, everything is pretty stable. But I'm just in one of those periods where I feel like it's one thing after another, and I'm kind of like hanging on by a thread here. And on top of that, I have all this stuff going on with my car, and it's in the shop, and it's gonna be a lot to repair it. And last week I scratched my eyeball, so I couldn't put my contacts in, so like staring at my computer screen was hard. And it's just been one thing and then another thing and another thing and another thing. And I feel like so often when I make a video, I'm always like, oh, there's something else that's going on in my life. And so if you're watching this, I want to know, I don't know if it's just me and if like life likes to throw me a lot of stuff to deal with, or if everybody kind of feels like it's one thing after another. But I have this suspicion that this isn't just me, and that a lot of us live our lives out of the place of, okay, what do I have to deal with next? What's going to come up? And I'm kind of always in that headspace of stressing about the current disaster and then preparing for the next one, because it's always something. And that's not a good way for me to live my life, I'm aware. But I'm just kind of ready for shit to hit the fan at any moment, which makes living hard. It does. And so I'd love to know below if you kind of feel like this too, like it's just one thing after another, or maybe I'm just going through a period of life like this. But I'm just interested to know, because I think that a lot of us do feel like that, but we don't say anything or talk about it because we're not sure how to talk about bad things in our lives in a supportive kind of let's get through this together way. And we fear that anytime we're like, oh, I have so much going on right now, or if we keep showing up to the world with everything that we're dealing with, it looks like we're complaining instead of trying to problem solve and be supportive, which is also a problem, because then we hide everything that we're going through, and then we create this perception of perfection, or like we're not dealing with anything, and we're creating all of this great stuff, and nobody else gets to see kind of the behind the scenes of what we've dealt with. And then it makes it hard because we feel like we can't have businesses or chase our dreams when we have shit going on in the background. And I don't know about you, but when I have a lot going on, I feel really guilty about not necessarily working on things for my business, but I feel guilty about doing things that make me happy. And I know that that's also not a good thought process to have, and that's something that I'm working really hard on trying to break. But I feel like it's so hard to enjoy the moments in between when there's, 1 or 5 different crazy kind of personal things in my life, which is something that I'm really working hard to overcome. And figuring out how to have more of those moments and fill the time and the space in between the stresses with good memories, and to still have good memories and happy things happen despite being stressed out of my mind, because I'm really, really good at letting stress control me. I'm really good at letting stress take over and letting stress kind of rule my mindset, because when I have something going on, it's really hard for me to get my mind off of it. It's really hard for me to move forward and get other things done when there is, whether it's like something that I'm worried about or someone that I'm worried about. And it's hard, but I'm learning that I have to find a different way, because life is always going to throw me stuff to deal with, and I have to figure out how to live despite of it. And I can't feel guilty about it. I feel guilty going out and having some kind of experience that makes me laugh and smile when my grandma's in the hospital. And I know that's not like what she would want, and if life's always going to throw me stuff like this to deal with, then for my own sanity and for my own mental health, I have to allow myself to have those kind of moments in the midst of everything. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. And I'm also really thankful for the shift that I made in my business, and I'm realizing that now more than ever, more than I have over the past couple months. Because before, when I was doing like the master classes and scheduling a lot of strategy calls, and everything had a very specific time chunk that it had to happen in. Yes, I had like all of the work that went into it and all of the work like to get to that point, but then the actual like implementation was always at a specific time. I had to be at a specific place. It added a lot of structure to my life, which is hard because my mom's a doctor. She's a single mom. I have two more sisters. I have two sisters total, so there's three of us. And so like I love to be there for my family, and also with dealing with anxiety and depression, I don't always know what my like mental state is going to be day to day. So I'm realizing that it was just such an important shift for me to make, to go from that kind of having to be certain places that do certain things at a certain time to now creating content that I have more flexibility around. With blogging and writing blog posts, I mean, yes, I have like deadlines that I create for myself and things that I have to have delivered by to, you know, certain people that I'm featuring or people that I'm working with, but the structure is a lot more loose than what I was just doing a couple months ago. And in the midst of all of this craziness and all of the life stuff that has kind of been going on, I'm so grateful that I made that shift, because it allowed me to be there for my family. It allowed me to help my mom get my sister back and forth to places, and gave me flexibility to get more work done in the pockets of time that I had, rather than having to deal with the whole like, I have to reschedule everything and I'm gonna let people down, or I have to be on my game, not only on this day, but at this certain time, I need to be mentally strong at 1 o'clock so that I can help somebody else through whatever their story is and what they're dealing with in their business right now. And I'm off today after everything that I've been dealing with, and it's hard to get myself back in that business mindset. So if I seem a little kind of out there, that's why. But I would create these videos because I want to be able to look back on my journey and to look and see what happened and where I got to, and also to give you guys a peek behind the realness of what other people out there are going through as they're trying to create what they want in their lives. But anyways, it also, everything that's happened and everything that I'm trying to learn and all the directions that I'm trying to grow in, where my life is at right now personally is just such a great fit for what I'm trying to do with the blog and with my website, in trying to figure out how to live more, because I'm just so sick of stress captivating my life and feeling like it's just in control all the time. And if I'm super stressed, then certain things don't happen, or if I'm super stressed, I can't enjoy the moments, and then I have these kind of weeks of chunks of time where I look back and I'm like, what did I enjoy over the past couple weeks? And sometimes it's hard to find anything, and that's a problem, because that deteriorates me mentally. And I already feel like over the past couple years now, when I look back, I'm like, I spent so much of them stressed out of my mind, isolating myself from other people, turning down experiences because of either money or because I couldn't mentally handle something that day. And there's nothing wrong with that, like on a day-to-day basis, but sometimes you just need to take that time to yourself. And I'm not saying you need to like push yourself through everything, but when I look at what stress has taken away from me, I realize that I can't live like that, and I can't move forward like that. I have to be able to enjoy things and enjoy life, despite whatever is going on around me. And that's a skill that I am significantly lacking, and a skill that I'm trying really hard to create, and a skill that I think a lot of people don't have. I mean, maybe some people do, but something that I really need to figure out is how to make the most out of those moments in between, how to allow myself to live within the chaos. And as many of you guys know, like, I've been to therapy. I have, when I'm not okay, I have the tricks and the tools and the strategies to get myself from not okay to okay. And it is absolutely okay not to be okay, but it's hard to live life in a place of just being okay for an extended period of time. I know how to be okay. I know how to take myself from being really down and take it to a place where I'm content. Take it to a place where I am surviving, where I'm existing, instead of feeling like I'm going to not exist in any moment. I know how to do that, but now I need to take it to that next step. I need to figure out how to live and how to make the most out of this life. It's my birthday tomorrow, and I'm gonna be 27, and I'm like nowhere near where I want to be at 27. And I think a lot of that is because I've let stress hold me back, and I've let stress get the best of me, and I've let stress inhibit my ability to create and move forward. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do, and how the lifestyle that I'm trying to live, where, I mean, I've come to terms that I'm always going to be one of those people that just has a lot to deal with. I just am. I mean, maybe I'm just really strong, and that's why life is like, here you go, here's some more. Take this too, and this, you can handle that. And I love the quote, you are assigned this mountain because, or you are assigned this mountain to show other people that it can be moved. And I always feel like I have mountains that are moving. So I have to figure out how to enjoy pushing those mountains, and how to enjoy little moments of my life on a day-to-day basis, and to find things that make me happy every day, and to find little ways to live more every day. So if any of that resonated with you, then you are in the right spot. My whole goal for the blog is to share experiences and places and products and even people that will help all of us do a little bit more living. And these past couple weeks have shown me more than anything that I am in the right direction, and that I am heading in the right place for myself, and that I made the right decision to shift my business. And that the work that I'm doing means something, even if it's just, I mean, I hope that it means something for you, but that the work that I'm doing and the things I'm trying to explore right now are what I need to be doing for myself. And I hope that out of that I can create something that is really useful for you too. All right. I don't know what I just said. That video was kind of a blur in my head, but I'll see you next week.